Okay, so why crunches won't strengthen your core and what can you do instead? Now, basically, what I'm trying to say is the crunches alone will not strengthen your core muscles, and it can actually, well, not always, but it might actually make things worse for you. Now, as an executive mom, you have your hands quite full. You don't have you're always busy. So you don't have time to waste on workouts that don't deliver results, right? So you know that a strong core is essential for good posture, for pain relief, and lasting energy. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can refer to the previous video that I have done on these core and their relationship with energy and low energy levels, etc. Anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. So coming back to what I was saying is, you do know that a strong core is essential for good posture, for pain relief, lasting energy, etc. So you try and fit those core muscle exercises whenever you can. But if you have been relying on crunches, like many people do, to strengthen your core, you might not be seeing the benefits that you expected. And worse, you might even be reinforcing some poor movement patterns. You might have additional aches and pains. Because of the way you've been doing those crunches. So let's talk about all this in this video, and I will talk about why crunches are not my go-to. If they are yours, well, all power to you, but they are not my go-to for core, and I'll explain why, and I'll also tell you what you can do instead. And the alternate solution is much easier. So anyway, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck and nerve pain. And this is despite low energy levels and brain fog or mommy brain or lack of focus. Now, I do so by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. When I say adrenal fatigue, it has, well, those of you who know this term, it has a lot of symptoms. The ones that I had were low energy levels and lack of focus. So that is what I talk about, because it may seem like something very trivial, but when you have these two or any other symptoms of adrenal fatigue, it is very difficult to get through your day. And an additional aches and pains on top of that, it just makes life very challenging. Anyway, I'm glad to be on the other side, glad to be helping those who are in that boat right now. Anyway, moving on, because we're moms, we're busy people. So let's get into the topic for today, which is why crunches won't strengthen your core and what you can do instead of those crunches. Now, the truth is, crunches alone will not build the kind of core strength that you actually need for daily life. Now, I have nothing against crunches, they have their own place. But if you are equating crunches and core, we are probably not on the same page then, right? I say that with all the love in my heart, but we are not in the same on the same page. Now, what happens is, when you are talking about core muscles, you're talking about, sometimes people talk about those six pack abs, those superficial abdominal muscles right in the front, but your core is much deeper than that. These are the I mean, these are the deepest layer of muscles. So if this is your spine, these are the muscles that are surrounding the spine, and then you have the layers and layers of different muscles, and you are talking about the most superficial, while I'm talking about the deepest layer of muscle here, right? So when these deepest muscles of layer, they are around, in and around the spine, so they are set out in our body in such a way that they support and stabilize the spine and your pelvis, and they lead to a good posture, because when your spine is supported by those strong core muscles, you can sit upright without that slouching, rounding shoulder, forward head, etc. Now, crunches, usually they will, well, crunches work on mainly on the surface level abdominal muscles, so they ignore those deep core stabilizer muscles that I was talking to you about just now. Now, they don't train your core in the way that it is used throughout the day. For example, let me give you a very simple example that I usually give people. These are my biceps. When I want to go and train my biceps, I'll lift, say, a dumbbell in my hand, and I'm going to do this because my bicep fibers are longitudinal. When I'm doing this, the fibers are coming close together. when I am extending my elbow, the fibers are going back to their original length. So this contraction and relaxation of the muscle that's happening in the biceps here is what is going to help me tone up my biceps or strengthen my biceps. My core muscles are sitting right deep inside. Firstly, those crunches don't get to my core. Secondly, even if I'm looking at those superficial muscles, the crunches are basically you are going in this direction. But your abdominal muscles are mostly, the orientation is such that those crunches are not even going to, I mean, those deep or abdominal muscles, that the crunches are not even going to touch them. Anyway, I think I've really drilled that point in. So, in fact, if you keep on doing crunches and you are not addressing the core muscles, you will have a strong set of superficial muscles but weaker, deeper muscles. So there is a muscular imbalance that happens in the area. Okay, so another thing that I have seen many people do crunches. Yes, they are great for those superficial abdominal muscles and that chiseled look that many people go for in the gym. However, when you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, or tight shoulders or poor posture, and you are doing crunches, most of the people I have seen will be doing crunches in a wrong posture, because you're used to being in a poor posture. You're doing crunches in a poor posture, and because that's your normal. I mean, that's the new normal that your brain is used to. So poor posture is normal. So if poor posture is normal for you and you're doing crunches in a poor posture, suppose I have a forward head posture and I'm doing my crunches, I'll be leading with my neck, right? And that is going to lead to a lot of neck strain. So, if you feel that your neck is strained and hurting more than it helps when you are doing your crunches, or you experience lower back discomfort, of course, there's effort, but I'm talking about pain. Instead of feeling that core activation, that deep muscles being activated, you actually feel the lower back is hurting. You're probably not doing your crunches correctly. Okay. And of course, if you're doing a lot of ab workouts and your posture is still quite poor, you know you need to work on those core muscles that will stabilize the spine and then lead to a good posture. Anyway, so what can you do? Now, um, what you can do instead is the deep core activation that I'm going to talk about. However, if you want to look at generalized exercises that you can do dead bugs, a bird dog, bridging, pelvic bridging, that is diaphragmatic breathing. I have done a video on diaphragmatic, on the diaphragm and what is its role in core muscles. You can go check it out on my YouTube channel. Or you can type my name on YouTube, Swati Prakash, diaphragm or core, it'll come up with the videos. You can do many, many variations of the plank. You can do something as simple as I started off with those, just on your knee and forearms, the simplest planks, to mountain climbers, to, I mean, there are lots of variations. So you can do all these. Apart from these, you can actually, just looking at the name of it, yeah. So I have a free guide that I have written on 10 easy desk-based exercises to strengthen your core. It is a checklist that is designed for those busy days when you don't have the time to actually go and do exercise, your core exercises separately. It Well, I do it on a regular basis sitting at my desk. So this checklist has really helped me and I would like to share it with you. So I have made a free guide on it. These are simple, discrete exercises. You won't be able to tell, even if I'm doing it while I'm talking to you right now. You can't tell. They're discrete. You're able to activate your core without actually missing a beat, really. So I will leave that guide in a blog that I have written on this topic, and I'll leave the link to the blog in the description of this video so you can find it there. Now, in that blog, I also have a video embedded, which is what is the core and understanding the muscles that support the core. There are lots of other links in that blog that will be useful to you on core, diaphragmatic breathing, etc., etc. Anyway, so that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, any comments, do let me know. I have nothing against crunches, but those are not deep core activation. So they might touch the core slightly, but they are not specifically for the core. So let me know if you need more details. I'm happy to help you out. I do have some free as well as paid solutions on core muscle activation. Let me know what works for you, and either leave a comment below or message me and I will help you out. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.